guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I have the third Cirque Colors swatch and review video for the month for you all. Cirque has released a ton of things for the month of September. This is the final release of the month, and this release is the Creme de la Creme collection. If you remember from earlier in this year, just this past summer, I don't know why I said it was like March, it was like June. Anyway, Cirque did a re-release on 12 Creme finished nail polishes from like past releases. Cirque is doing a second one for fall/holiday. We have 10 re-release cream finished nail polishes, and yes, I do switch back and forth between saying creme and cream. I don't know why, I just do. So there are a total of 10 cream finished nail polishes in this release, and they're going to be very seasonally appropriate for fall and winter. And even though we are barely through fall, Cirque is also kicking off their holiday shop, which if you're familiar with Cirque, you know, for all the seasons, they have a special curated section on the website for seasonally appropriate polishes. The Creme de la Creme release is not going to be limited edition, and it is available right now on the Cirque Colors website. If you would like to pick up this release or anything else on the Cirque Colors website, you can use my affiliate code Nicole Loves Nails to save 10% off the entire website. While Cirque Colors does ship internationally, they also are available on a whole variety of stockist pages, which I'll have linked in the description box. If you are here in the States, Beyond Polish also gets Cirque Colors releases, and my coupon code Nicole Loves Nails also works on the Beyond Polish website. The products featured in today's video were gifted to me by Cirque Colors, and this video is not sponsored. However, I am a brand affiliate with the brand. My coupon codes and links are affiliate, so I do receive a commission when they are used. I greatly appreciate those of you who have chosen to use any of my affiliate links or codes. So as always, in the description box, links to where you can pick these polishes up, links to the Cirque Colors website. I will also have their social media pages, my social media pages, and of course, timestamps as well. Let's just get into this video. First up, we have Cosmopolitan, which Cirque describes as a muted orchid purple cream. Cosmopolitan had a fantastic formula. It was pretty much opaque on me in one coat. I agree with Cirque's color description for this shade. I am not at all a orchid purple fan at all, but there's something about this particular shade that was just really, really, really pretty. I think it has the teeniest droplet of gray. It's not at all too grayed out. It's a really nice pop of color without being too dark or too bright for the season. For you seasonal people, I do also think that this could also pass for a spring color. My swatch here shows Cosmopolitan in 2 coats plus glossy top coat, and because this is a cream, it will remove very, very easily. This next polish is called Dakota, and Cirque describes it as a light beige pink cream. Dakota also had a really fantastic formula, slightly on the thicker side, but I did still find it self-leveled and applied really nicely. I found on my skin tone, which tends to lean a bit more on the warmer side, this was almost like a peachy pink kind of beige on me. Because this is such a light shade, I did kind of automatically assume it was going to be a 3-coater. I do, however, think this is going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your application style and personal preference. I thought I was seeing a little bit of unevenness when I was doing my second coat, so I opted to add a 3rd coat for this one, but looking back over my footage, I wasn't seeing any dark spots on camera, so what you're seeing here is the polish in 3 coats. I did record the 3rd coat, but because there was no visual difference between the 2nd coat and the 3rd coat, I opted to just not show the 3rd coat swatch. I feel like the tones of this polish, this could for sure be somebody's like mannequin hands polish. As with all of the creams in this release, this one does dry down fairly glossy, but my swatches do show it with glossy top coat and super easy removal, of course. And now we have Don't Forget the Cannoli, which Cirque describes as an ivory white cream nail polish. Don't Forget the Cannoli also had a really fantastic formula, slightly on the thicker side, but especially for a white cream, I found it applied really easily and self-leveled really nicely. It also didn't feel chalky at all, which I feel like is a big complaint for me with white creams. I do think that Don't Forget the Cannoli is also going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your application style and personal preference. I felt like I was seeing a little bit of unevenness in 2 coats, so I did opt to add a 3rd coat. Was it completely necessary?
No.
Maybe not, but I feel like I can get extra picky when it comes to creams. I would describe the color tone of this as being a slightly yellowy beigey leaning white. Not quite beigey enough to be like a skin tone color, just like a very slightly off-white shade. Don't Forget the Cannoli is one of the polishes in this release that I was honestly really surprised when it disappeared from the Cirque Colors website. I feel like this one had been in stock for the entire time that I was purchasing from the brand, so I'm kind of glad they brought it back, even though it's not like a color that I personally enjoy. So that was Don't Forget the Cannoli in 3 coats plus glossy top coat, and it's a cream, super easy removal. And now we have Empire State of Mind, which Cirque describes as a vampy oxblood red cream. Empire State of Mind also had a really fantastic formula. On that first coat, it is pretty light. I found in order to get the exact same color that I was seeing in the bottle, I did need to go in for 3 coats. While I do think that coverage wise, it is passable in 2 coats, I just feel like the coverage that I was seeing, it wasn't quite as dark as what was in the bottle. I am going to give a major stainer warning for Empire State of Mind. I did not personally experience staining when I was swatching this one. However, it did really want to stick to my skin. You can kind of see around like my cuticle line that it's looking a little bloody. That is just the pigment from the polish because I got some in my cutes. I would also recommend the soak off method for this polish because like it's really pigmented and you do not want to be scrubbing all them pigments into your nail plate. Empire State of Mind is a really dark shade. I do agree with Cirque's color description. I feel like this is the type of dark red that, as you're seeing here in low light, like it almost looks black. It's really dark. Because I recently reviewed a very similar shade to this one, I did want to compare this to ILNP's Dahlia. The biggest difference between these 2 shades is it's going to come down to the formulas. The Cirque is in the Creme family and the ILNP describes them as cushion jellies. In my opinion, they were more crelly leaning. I found for me, the ILNPs were definitely like significantly thicker than the Cirque polish was, but you know, just a little bit of nail polish thinner will solve that issue. So long story short, if you have one, you do not need the other. This next polish is called Hudson and Cirque describes it as a deep periwinkle blue cream. I would describe Hudson as a slightly grayed out medium blue shade. I kind of see where Cirque was going with by calling this one a periwinkle. I feel like it kind of has a slight purple tone to it, but like in my opinion, periwinkles usually are significantly lighter and lean like more strongly towards purple. I would say this is very obviously blue. Hudson had a fantastic formula, by the way. It was a 1 coater on me, but my swatch is going to be showing it in 2 coats plus glossy top coat. Hudson is an absolutely beautiful shade, but I will fully acknowledge if there was a color in this release that was going to get me, it was highly likely going to be the blue cream. I didn't personally experience any staining with this shade, but as it is a very opaque cream, I will still recommend the soak off method just so you're not scrubbing all them pigments into your nail. And now we have
Vie Boheme.
Cirque describes this one as a velvety dark purple cream.
Vie Boheme
had a really fantastic formula. Because this is another dark and vampy shade, I did expect it to be another 3 coater similar to how Empire State of Mind was. However, I was seeing the exact color that I was seeing in the bottle in only 2 coats. Similar to the rest of the creams in this release, slightly on the thicker side, but like it applies so smoothly, so evenly, and self-levels perfectly as well. And I also do agree with Cirque's color description for this shade. For some reason, when I see colors like this on my pointed nails, they really give off like villainous vibes. While I didn't struggle doing cleanup for this shade, I still will once again caution about staining because it's very dark, very pigmented, and those 2 things usually equal staining. And just like every other polish in this release, removal is going to be super duper easy. This next shade is called Red Hook and Cirque describes it as a brick red cream. Red Hook also had a fantastic formula. This one was a 1 coater on me. While I fully do acknowledge that there are in fact bricks that are this type of color, I don't usually think of this particular shade as a brick red. In my personal opinion, this is more of a very dark orange to brown than what I personally think of as a brick red. Red Hook is one of the colors in this release that I remember when I first started buying from this brand and seeing it on the website and passing on it, because I did not think that I would enjoy wearing a color like this. So it's just kind of fun for me personally to see how much my nail polish color preferences have changed in 10 years. In my not so humble opinion, I feel like colors like this are actually like a staple color for if you are a seasonal polish wearer and you don't have something like this, you probably should. And now we have Spotted in SoHo, which Cirque describes as a muted coral pink cream. I do agree with Cirque's color description for this shade. It is very much in that kind of corally pink family. I don't think the mutedness in their color description for this one is necessarily like a grayed out mutedness. I feel like this is more dusky as opposed to dusty. So I think maybe like orange perhaps they used. I feel like the particular color tone of this one is really bringing out the warm tones in my hands, but not so much that I have like lobster hands. I feel like it's very complimentary. Shades like this aren't in my own personal color palette, and every time I swatch one, I'm like, oh, maybe I should wear colors like this because like I don't hate it, but I never do.
But anywho,
once again, super easy removal because it is a cream. I will always caution about staining because it's a very pigmented shade. And now we have Tavern on the Teal, which Cirque describes as a dark teal green cream. Tavern on the Teal also had a fantastic formula. This was just shy of being a one coater on me. I feel like if I kind of worked the polish a bit more, I could have gotten it opaque in just one coat, but I was going to swatch it in 2 coats anyway, so I didn't bother to do that. Similar to the other creams in this release, slightly on the thicker side, but the kind of thickness that just adds to opacity and it stays where you put it. This is 1000% the type of teal shades that I want to see in a fall collection. I really like colors like this. I do agree with Cirque's color description for this shade. In my opinion, this is definitely going to be like a true teal. I did not find that it leaned overly blue or overly green, but it's not so dark that it's going to appear to be black in low lighting. I generally find that teals tend to stain my natural nails, and since this one is so pigmented, I will caution against staining. I did not personally experience any issues on removal, but as always, double up on base coat if you're that concerned about staining. And the final polish in this release is called
Terroir,
and Cirque describes it as a deep purple taupe cream. Formula on this one was also fantastic. It was just shy of being a one coater, and just like all the other polishes in this release, it self-leveled really nicely, applied really nicely. I once again am so thankful that Cirque upgraded their brush to the rounded paddle brush, because I feel like application for this shade with a really skinny brush would probably feel quite different. I once again do agree with Cirque's color description for this shade. I would put it in the purpley taupey kind of family. I could even see the shade being described as almost like a brownish purple. And for the final time, super easy removal for the shade. I still would caution about staining. Alrighty, so final thoughts. So I always have very mixed feelings on like fall cream shades, largely because I'm not a huge lover of really dark cream shades. I feel like for me personally, for creams, blues, teals, grays, browns, oranges, that's generally where I kind of fit in for fall cream colors. Those are what, you know, tickle my pickle in the perfect way. That being said, there were quite a few polishes in this release that I remember seeing the brand release years ago and hemming and hawing and trying to decide if I wanted them. Hudson being the number one that I really had wanted back in the day, but I talked myself out of it, and I gotta say, it is just as beautiful as I thought it was going to be. I feel like this color story was really pretty to look at. All of the formulas on here were absolutely fantastic as well, so I've got no complaints personally. My top pick from this release, in case you could not tell, is going to be Hudson. Y'all know I am a sucker when it comes to a blue cream. I don't know why I like blue cream so much, but I do. I love them. Hudson is gonna be my top pick. I will say though, Tavern on the Teal is going to be my honorable mention shade because I really like teals. As I mentioned at the start of this video, Cirque's holiday shop is also kicking off. I feel like it's a little early. Based on the information that I got from Cirque, it isn't strictly holiday in the sense of like winter holidays. It looks like this is also including just like the general like gathering of like friends and family. So, you know, like Thanksgiving-esque times as well. So I'll give them a pass, but I still feel like we're jumping seasons. As far as sale and pricing information goes, the Creme de la Creme collection is available right now on the Cirque Colors website. Each polish is going to be priced at $12.50, and Cirque does have an 11 ml bottle. And as is typical with Cirque, there will also be a special bundle listing available if you want to pick up all 10 shades, and that bundle listing will have a 10% discount. And don't forget, you can use my affiliate code Nicole Nails to save 10% off the entire Cirque Colors website or off of beyondpolish.com. I would love to know what everyone else thought of this release. Are you planning on picking up? Do you already own these shades? I know Cirque had quite a few releases this month, so I appreciate y'all checking out all the videos. And in case you missed any of the other reviews I did for Cirque for the month of September, I'll have my Cirque playlist listed in the description box as well in case anyone wants to catch up on what they missed. And also, because I'm shouting out past videos, don't forget to check out my favorite Cirque Colors polishes that I also posted this past month. Before we end today's video, I want to give a very special shout to my channel members. Shenanigans, Stormy fans, your names of course all on the screen right now. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a big ol' like. It helps boost me for the algorithm. So just thank you all for joining me for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a lovely week, folks, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!